Hello and greetings from my channel. To anybody who's new here, my name is Connor and I like making videos about things that I like, so welcome. A lot of you just recently subscribed, which is awesome. I got a lot of subscribers since my last video, which if you haven't seen it, there it is right up there. Thank you so much. Please share, like, and subscribe and follow me on these social medias. I'm gonna keep trying to push things out, especially during this time of quarantine, because what better time to start making videos and try to make a fleeting career in YouTube than now, right? For today's video, I thought, what better idea than making my top 10 Tana Mojo list of my favorite anime movies of all time. Now, anime movies, I know people might be going, it's a cartoon, it's not live action, I don't want to watch anything from Japan. But to be honest, anime movies are some of my favorite ones from all time, even as a kid. I mean, Studio Ghibli films and Pokemon movies and even some Dragon Ball movies have been my obsession since I was a child. And I know a lot of the people who are at least around my age have heard of these films or seen these films or been really into these films. So I thought, what better choice than bring my love of anime and of film and put it together to give you a list of my favorites that you might want to watch during your quarantine. If you have nothing to do and maybe 2 hours to spare on one of the days that you're stuck inside, why not watch one of these films? They're in no really particular order except for, I guess, the #1 spot. And again, it's not really based on Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb scores or anything like that. It's just more my personal favorite. And a lot of these I've seen so many times that that's why they've come to my top 10 favorite, because they're just movies close to my heart that I really love. I'm gonna be linking a trailer to each of these films below, so if you want to at least check out what these movies are from a trailer before you potentially watch them or find them online, I'll be posting that all down below, so if you want that information, it'll be right down there. Like I said before, no particular order except #1, which we'll end with. I'm gonna start with my #10 spot, which is the movie Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue is a 1997 Japanese animated psychological thriller. The movie comes from the imagination of Satoshi Kon, and it follows the story of Mima, who is a Japanese pop idol who eventually leaves her idol singing group to pursue an acting career. This kind of makes her shed her innocence as a pop idol and do more adult things that some of her fans don't like. She not only suffers the following of a stalker and some mysterious murders that follow, Mima also starts to experience the loss of her reality as she starts to kind of spiral into a type of insanity that I'll describe mostly as like starving artist struggles with oneself and one's art. A lot of this movie too can be seen as an inspiration for a lot of Black Swan, which is a great film on its own, but that whole kind of like internal struggle when it comes to one's art and pursuit of perfection in art, a lot of that can be seen in Perfect Blue, and it's really, really a good watch. #9 for my list is going to be actually a more recent anime film, which is the 2019 Dragon Ball Super Broly. Now, I'm a huge Dragon Ball diehard fan. I've been watching it since I was a kid. I used to watch it when it was on the Funimation network on TV. I watched Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT. I had all the games, Budokai, Tenkaichi, and Sagas, and all that. Broly, who is a big fan favorite character, has finally been made canon in the Dragon Ball story. And it's actually just not only a really well animated film, but it's a fun film. It has all that you would want in a Dragon Ball film. It has fighting, it has humor, it has really cool action scenes, and if you're a big Dragon Ball fan, I would suggest that one. It's highly recommended and very cool and a lot of fun. My #8 film is going to be the 1995 film Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell is about Motoko, who is a federal agent cyborg, and throughout the film she is focused on finding this one criminal who is called the Puppet Master. The Puppet Master is an illegal hacker, and he kind of messes with a lot of these human hybrid cyborgs, which makes Motoko kind of question her own reality. It's very Blade Runner-esque, and the one thing about Ghost in the Shell, which we're not going to talk about the stupid live action with Scarlett Johansson, it was horrible, not only whitewashing, but it was just bad. Like, it was just bad. Ghost in the Shell is known to have inspired a lot of movies, the most popular of which is The Matrix. Ghost in the Shell is a great movie. if you kind of like that kind of style and aesthetic of film. So if you really love cyberpunk films, Ghost in the Shell is definitely one to check out. Number 7 on my list was not really a hard choice. This is one that I will watch over and over again and cry to over and over again, and that's Pokemon, the first movie.
Bring all your skill. Bring all your courage. The Pokemon match of all time is here.
This 1998 film is a classic, especially if you're a Pokemon fan, if you're a fan of watching the original anime with Ash and Misty and Brock. It's a movie that really gets you in the gut with all the connections between Ash and Pikachu and kind of the idea of Mewtwo who wants to liberate but also kind of control Pokemon. It's a really, really good film. I know that they just came out with like a remake, CGI remake. I haven't checked that out, but if you love Pokemon and you haven't seen this film, I don't know what you were doing. You have to get on that right now because Pokemon is such a good film. My number 6 choice is one of 4 Ghibli films on this list, which is the classic My Neighbor Totoro.
今日はとてもすごいニュースがあるんです。メイがお化けのトトロに出会いました。私は自分も会えたらいいなと思っています。
You can't get away without putting that on a list. I mean, it's such a cute movie. For anyone who doesn't know, My Neighbor Totoro is about the schoolgirls Satsuki and Mei, who are sisters, who move into an old country house with their father as their mother is hospitalized for an illness she has. During this, they kind of have their own coming-of-age story together. Basically, nearby this old country house is a lot of woodland rural spirits that they interact, most notably Totoro, and the story of their interactions with this spirit. My number 5 choice is the 2016 movie A Silent Voice. This movie is definitely a tearjerker. If you want to watch something that'll definitely hit you in the gut and you need a good cry, this is the film. A Silent Voice is about a girl who has impaired hearing and she is bullied mercilessly by this one boy. Eventually, she transfers schools and they grow older, and eventually when the older boy, the bully, sees her again, he tries to make amends for his wrongs. It is a movie that will really break your heart, but it is definitely worth the watch. For my number 4 choice is the 1997 Studio Ghibli film Princess Mononoke. Princess Mononoke is about a boy named Ashitaka who gets infected by an animal attack that seems to have demonic nature to it, and he looks to get cured. During his travels to look for his cure, he gets thrown into a conflict between humans ravaging the land, disrupting this peace, against a wolf goddess and her human daughter named San. He eventually tries to broker peace between the two, and conflict arises. It's very, very in lieu of the same story as Ferngully and Pocahontas and Avatar. So if you like those films, this would be a great one for you to watch as well. The 3rd film on this choice is the 2001 Studio Ghibli film Spirited Away.
Don't be afraid. I'm Master Haku.
No!
I just want to help you.
No!
Spirited Away is about a girl named Chihiro who is moving with her parents to her new home, and on the way they stop by an old abandoned amusement park where her parents happen to be cursed, and Chihiro gets stuck in this limbo spiritual world where she has to find a way to save not only herself but her parents so they can leave. It's a really, really well done and thought out story, and yeah. Number 2 on my list is the 1988 film Akira.
Neo Tokyo is going to change soon.
What?
The story of Akira goes as this. In 1988, the Japanese government dropped a bomb on Tokyo after some experiments on children involving extrasensory perception goes awry. Fast forward into 2019, 31 years later, a biker gang leader tries to save his friend Tetsuo from secret government projects, and eventually Tetsuo starts to develop these powers. This all culminates to the exposing of the Japanese government's projects and plans, and events ensue. It is a very, very nail-biting and tension-grabbing story. I want to say too, I heard that apparently they're going to make a live-action remake of Akira. It is going to be directed by Taika Waititi. Now, I don't know if this is still true, especially with everything going on. I'm sure there's no filming going on, but I don't know if they're in production stages or what. But I'd be interested in seeing it. Usually live-action versions of any anime or anime films are not good, as these ones were all horrible. But I would be interested in seeing it because I do like Taika Waititi as a director, and Akira is a great story that, if done right, I think could be done very well. Number one on this list is actually my number one. I have not only watched it a billion times, but I've also read the book that has inspired this movie, and that is Studio Ghibli's film, Howl's Moving Castle.
That's Howl's Castle!
That is ancient sorcery. Quite powerful, too.
That boy is extremely dangerous. Our kingdom can no longer afford to turn a blind eye to these disreputable witches and wizards. His powers are far too great for someone without a heart.
Howl's Moving Castle is... I don't even know if I have the words to describe it. It's such a good film. For anyone who doesn't know, Howl's Moving Castle follows the story of Sophie, who is a young hat maker who eventually meets this magical and fantastic wizard named Howl. Because of Howl's past, this causes Sophie to get drudged up in a lot of his own conflict, which results in the Witch of the Waste, a enemy of Howl, casting a curse on Sophie, causing her to age prematurely. Throughout the film, she becomes a companion to Howl, and she has to find a way to break her own curse and help Howl with his own troubles and conflict. It is a really, really beautiful film. Again, like I said, every Ghibli film is. It has beauty to it, it has heart to it, the soundtrack is amazing. Merry-Go-Round of Life is literally one of the most impressive orchestral pieces I've heard from cinema in a long time. It will definitely catch your heart and make you feel a lot of things and cry a lot. If you haven't checked out the book either, the book is also really good. There are obvious differences between the two, but it is such a good story. It's got a lot of heart to it, and I watch it on the regular all the time. It is one of my favorite of all time. So yeah, that's my top 10 anime list. I would really recommend watching some of these, especially if any of these descriptions I quickly gave you drew your attention in. They're really good films, and they're good to kind of like keep your mind off of things for a bit. I know I've been looking for things to do or watch, and these ones have already kind of come and gone in my quarantine watch list, but I hope you really go check them out. So let me know if you watch any of these films. Also, please leave a comment of any anime films that you love that you think I should watch. I've watched a lot, and a lot that I didn't mention, but I'm always looking for new things to watch, and yeah, if you like this, please like and comment and subscribe and share this. Hopefully we can grow this family some more, and I'm hopefully going to have another video out on Sunday or Monday as well, because I want to try to get to 2 videos a week, but it's been a little hard, especially with me trying to do other things like catching up on anime that I haven't seen yet. So anyway, all right, thanks guys.